Morning guys, Chris here from Yigo MAFA. I'm in ground construction as well. We're going to have another live session today, and so I hope you guys either follow us, like us, watch us back, whatever. This will be up for obviously 24 hours on the Yigo MAFA live stream, the @Yigo MAFA. So if you're watching this afterwards, you're going to go to IG, and it's going to be at YIGOMAFA, which you'll see the link in the description. You guys on the live stream will probably, I'm not being cockeyed, I'll be looking at a camera today so we can get you a better quality video to upload later. But if you're watching the live stream, I really appreciate it. I appreciate even more if you guys take anything from this or drilling any of these things at home. But I know it's tough during these times to stay motivated, keep moving and everything. But hopefully these little Saturday things are something of value for you guys, and we add little things, and then try and add other little things in. So, got my original partner back today. She's back, not injured anymore.
Yeah, relatively.
So, yeah, relatively. So we'll try not to injure her during the session. Okay, so we're going to start off like we usually start off. We're going to start with a jumper jack. So we're going to do 15 jumper jacks, 15 high knees, and then 15 butt kickers. So you ready? Okay. Okay, the high knees. 1, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Back knees. 1, 2, 15. Okay, so we're just going to do some regular forward and back strips. So depending on what you have, we have obviously our mat area. So we're going to do 2 lines of forward and back strip. So in the forward strip, you're going to use that bottom foot. You're going to throw that. Then you hold a weight on top of you. You're going to throw that off. Well, that's okay. Doesn't even matter. Okay. So, next, we're going to do 5 inchworms. So, I don't know if you want to demonstrate inchworm? Very good. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do 5 inchworms. So, go you demonstrate.
Is this what you mean?
Yeah.
I call them a burpee walkout, so I'm like,
Yeah, right.
is that definitely what it is?
So you can also walk. So you got that version, and you also got the one where you can walk out and then walk your feet to your butt, and then walk out again. And that counts as 2. So we're just going to do 5 or 6 then, whatever you want. So walk out. Because we're not doing bear crawls today, so we're going to do inchworms instead of bear crawls. Hey, you can change yours if you want.
What I'm doing.
I just do 6. 5, 6. Okay. Cool. So, if you guys watched last week, we were doing a back step square up. So, in which we might jump in today? I didn't know today. Okay. So the back step square up, the same as if you were either passing like with an outside knee slice, or you're in north-south position. More often you remain north-south position. So we're pretending we have the head and the torso here. We're going to reach our hand across, or our elbow across. So we're checking the hip, and we're just gonna long step back. Then we're gonna drag our leg through to square up. Again, reach far over, long step back, square up. So we're gonna do 10 of these, okay? So, reach over, long step back, square up. 2, 4. Okay. How are they?
Okay.
Okay. So guys, doing this stuff in a garage or a garage. I always lost track of it. In Guam is difficult. It's like 85 degrees in here. Well, no, but anyways, you'll see me sweat lots. I always sweat lots. So next we're gonna do back rolls and front rolls. So depending on what kind of floor you have at home and how you do it. If you have a nice pad floor, you can start with standing rolls, at least for the front roll, or if you want to fall for the back roll, you can. If not, we're just gonna come to the floor, so I'm just gonna slight angle off. Back of the hand, go between the legs. You can put a hand down to a brace if it's easier for you, especially depending on your floor. And we're just looking to roll along the arm, along the shoulder, not on the neck. So basically touch the floor of the face. So if you have a carpet or whatever you have at home, we'll do a front roll. Hand goes down between the legs, shoulder comes down. We're just going to push it off and come through, okay? If you have a better floor and you can land, so you can roll through and land a break fall, you can do that. So if you want to do the break fall one, we come down and we land our break fall, okay? So it really depends on what you guys have at home for your flooring. So we're going to do 5 front rolls and then 5 back rolls. And so your back rolls, again, the same as when on your flooring. We're going to put our arms to the side. We're going to look at our hand. And we're trying to roll over the shoulder, not over the neck. So we're going to throw our legs off to the side, over our shoulders. So we go back, like that. And we land. And then you come up for your combat base. Okay? So from the front view, arms off to the side. We're not looking away. I'm going to throw my legs over my arm. I try to catch myself with my hand, and then swoop through, and we're here, and if you want, you can just shoot whatever you want from there. Okay? So we're going to do 5 front, 5 back, okay? Ready? So, and you can alternate sides, if depending on what you do, or how you want to get it. So I'm going to try and alternate sides.
I went very wrong.
So if you do that thing when you roll back and you swing that leg up, you automatically prime to then do the alternate side. Alright, see? Now I go back over my right, left comes up, now I'm on the other side. Is that 3? 4, can I roll the side with that one? We can do 6 if you want to make it nice and even. Okay. So that's our forward and back rolls. Okay. Next we're going to do hip hop sit-ups. Sorry. So without a partner, just try and get the some stretching out and try and get some movement. So if you guys know the hip bump sweep, so just borrow part with me. We're usually here, we go in the guard, they have their hand on the ground. We're going to open, we usually post the foot out, we're going to sit up into them, arm comes over the shoulder, and we turn. So usually drop your back leg, or whatever you want, And you're gonna try and sit up and drive in with your hips, okay? So, without a partner, which we're gonna do for those step drills, is we're here, we have open guard. We're gonna drop the foot down. We're just gonna try and sit up into it. So we're gonna try and reach your hand over and touch your hand to the mat, okay? Now, ideally, you know that without a partner, you might not get your hand to the mat, but you're looking to obviously usually trap that arm and then turn, thrust and turn with your hips to bump them over, okay? So we're going to do 10 of them, so do 5 each side, okay? So you're back, foot plants, come up, reach over. Here, foot plants. Yeah, if you want to get like a little extra hip bump into it, you can. So that concludes our warm-ups for tower warm-ups. So now we're going to do like we always do every week. We're going to do a head to toe stretch. So, we're going to start with the head. We're going to do yeses. And our nose. And our shoulder to shoulder. And then you're going to grab your head and pull it to the right. Hold it for like 5-6 seconds. And then change. Pull to the left. Okay. Now we're going to do our shoulders and arms and chest. So we're just going to go across the chest. We're going to go up and down. Now we do arm circles forward. And back. Okay, if you guys want to do any extra you can. Now we're going to start off with the hips. So if you guys want to do you can kind of do the hips and then you can twist. So all I do is just do the hip rotations for a little bit. And then I have to take my hands and my leg and I throw it opposite direction, like that. So there you go. And that usually gets a nice little pop in the lower back, helps loosen that up. Obviously doing our front back rolls help loosen our back up as well as we're rolling it. Okay, so now we're going to do some hips. Start with the hip circles. Circle down to up with I call these the inside circles. And so like I always say, as we're twisting, we're going to hips shifting left and right, not just kicking. We're going to hip shifting. Okay, now we change direction. Come from the outside, from top down. Okay, now we're going to do one leg in front, one leg behind. I'm going to lay back, we'll do a quads first, and 3 off there.
Yeah.
Okay, and now you're going to hit that leg here. We're going to stick that leg back, so we're dragging out, so we can pull using our hips, and that knee kind of catching, creating friction. We're going to drag our leg out in front of us, and we're just going to relax, lay down to elbows, and try and feel your hips sinking into your leg, kind of pressing it, and you'll feel hopefully the outside of your hip stretching and opening up. Okay? So now we're going to change sides. That foot comes behind now. Just going to lean out. Lay back. That's what my eye stings. Okay. Oh, sounds like a neighbor's cutting their lawn. Okay. come up. In the leg in front, this leg straight back. You guys, from the same, so you guys see. Leg goes back, legs in front. On my elbows, I'm just gonna relax. And let the weight sink and open up at the outside of the hip. So if you guys don't already know and you're following us a little bit, or you're members of the gym, or you've seen us online, we're currently in Guam, we're filming this in Guam. We will be moving to Texas in a couple months, so we're hoping to have a better little studio there for you guys, better microphone, bigger space, so you can see us do more, and then we might change up the dynamic. Okay, so I'm going to do a little triangle stretch for the hips. And just do a little split. So, also during these quarantine times, if you guys watch this in the future, these are filmed during like everyone's like little lockdown stuff. So we did what we could with places open, gyms open. We had these little puzzle mats from our son's room. We had a few of them in our little home gym. So we're kind of just doubling up and making do. There we go. So your fingers. So you grab your fingers on your hand. Give your fingers a tug and a pull. Grab your thumb, little tug and pull. Other hand. Get nice and loose. Thumbs. Lock your fingers together. Roll your wrists. Get a nice good roll. There you go. That's right. Same thing with your legs. You grab your toes. Give your toes just a gentle tug and pull. Just kind of like loosen them up. Relax your foot as you do this. Grab your foot, or grab over the top of your foot, and then you can start working your ankle. Twist and work your ankle, just to help you find any little things that might pop later on and might cause an injury. Help us nice and loose, so we know ahead of time whether our feet hurt. Change side, grab your toes, grab your foot. Oh yeah, that clock's definitely dead. So we have like a couple clocks that we try and help users to film in time, and yeah, one of them's a bit dead. So we're using a phone. Okay, so we're gonna take a 2-3 minute water break. We're gonna reset our camera so we don't run over on the filming, and then we'll go into some more drills. Ones you can do with a partner. You can kind of simulate them on your own, so you don't need a partner. And then at the very end, like we do each time, we'll do just a little bit of technique, something you guys may be able to use. Nothing too in depth, but you know, something we've been working on, something we want to show. So take a 2-3 minute water break. Okay. Okay. So anybody who tuned into Hayato's Zoom class this week saw that he was working on opening our opponent's gi, so you could pull, and he was like working up to the wombo there. So the opening move we're going to do today, either with a partner or by yourself, so that's why I have this belt, this is going to help you try and develop that muscle memory for opening your partner or your opponent's gi. So typically when we're opening, we're never going to be further than an arm's length away, because if you're further than an arm's length away, I can't grab. I might be able to reach, like overextend and reach, but typically I can touch them and they can touch me. So, like Hayato showed, so just get your hands up out of the way, whatever. Yeah, so he showed that we're going to come, instead of trying to grab here and pull out, we'll try and grab here and pull out like that. We're going to reach in with the palm down, the thumb down, close to the belt line, and we're going to swipe out the side. It might take a few attempts to pull it out with that. Instead of trying to pull out, you might get stuck, we're going to pull out the side. So, you just wait a second. So, if you don't have a partner, the way you can simulate this is by taking a belt or a spare belt and folding it in half twice, typically for your size and height. And the reason we do that is, if you look here, from my neck to my waist is about the same length as my gi. So that creates a good simulation of your partner's height. At the same time, at arm's length, I'm never going to be further than my partner, like arm's length away, otherwise I'm not going to be able to touch them. So, pretending we have a partner's collar, or we're blocking their arm or their shoulder, we can practice stepping in and swiping out. So whether you want to, sorry, it's like a little bit loose, and you can tie the belt tighter if you want it tighter or better, or you can, I don't know, you could, if it makes it easier and you, okay. So you have less material, so you could There you go. About the length here. We can practice stepping in, swiping out. Like that. Step in, swipe out. So how you get your steps in, and you typically we're always going to be using our right hand because most people, I've seen some people, I don't know why some people do it, but most people, right tail goes in first, left tail over top, so you're always going to be pulling their left tail out, so you're usually going to be using your right hand. Now you might be able to catch with your left, but it's kind of awkward because you're turning your back as you're trying to pull out, whereas this one, you can keep straight on. So, you have your belt, step in, we just touch. We're just trying to look to grab around waist height. Make sure our hand doesn't drop too low. Try and grab and just pull it out to the side. So that's how you can simulate pulling your partner's tails out without a partner. So if you do have a partner, we can start with the very first one. So again, like say I'm holding that belt, I got her collar or whatever, or I'm blocking her arm. And so that's like me holding the belt. I'm just gonna reach in and pull. So will I step in, or will I can overextend with one leg out and pull, or step. However you want to work the steps, I'm sure in one of the highest classes he can give you better ideas on ideal footwork. But this is just to help build you that muscle memory outside of it. So to do this repeatedly as a drill, because it's going to be a pain for your partner to keep tuck it in, you're going to have your partner just lightly hold their gi tail enough, like so they can kind of like a resistance of the belt, and so you can just pull it back across, pull. And just get that, and then if you're not holding, you come in, and then pull back across. We're just looking to move around and get that flicking out. Okay, so I'm going to do, and I'll do well, you want to try?
I'll try it.
Yeah, my partner do it, so how are we doing on time? Okay, yeah, cool. So just going to start off with the first one, for initial, yep, pull back across, yep. Yeah, so see, she grabbed higher on that one and gets much harder to pull out, so that's why we're trying to aim down towards the belt line. Oop. Yeah. So you try not to slide down, just try to shoot in, pull straight out.
Just feel like it would be tighter there though, so I'd probably get my
So
hands
see,
in there.
we're debating. But again, it's all about building muscle memory. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like it would be flat there, but I could get my hand in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but you might. Yeah. But see, like Hayato described, if you're higher up and you're pulling, you might get stuck here because you're closer towards the shoulder. So we're really trying to aim for that belt line and pulling it down, because that's when you're more likely to get it out because they can stop your hand. And so then you talk about like faking to go for the collar and turning down. How do you get it? But it's that building that quick flick. You know, hand, thumb down, and pull out to the side. Okay, so that's your drill. You can do them. Okay, so next one we're going to do is just the mounted Kimura. So usually if you've got your partner on the side, you can see like that. So without a partner, in this kneeling position, we're going to grab our own wrist. So this will be simulate your figure four. We're going to lift up, or you're going to pull up, and we're going to twist, try and twist 9 degrees to the side. So we're going to pull up and twist 9 degrees to the side. Up, 9 degrees to the side. And you're always going to go towards, or not always, depends how you set up, but you're typically going to go towards the bent elbow, which is going to be your partner's back. So if I get my partner, so she lays down on the side. So we're in that mounted position here. I have the wrist. This side is the bent elbow. Come through to get my figure four. And lift up, and then we rotate to the back. So as you see, I'm not actually making a full 90. If you got a full 90 and your partner in a real thing, you're going to hurt it. But it's good to build that muscle memory because you don't want to fall short, because that's where your partner locks out. You want to get that full, that used to the G talking. So again, so we're here in this mounted position, and also we can't go the other way because there's no, her arm rotates that way perfectly fine. That's why we don't go to the non-bent side. So we're always going to, the side that comes under the elbow, whereas elbow to elbow is the side we go. So we're always going to rotate towards the back. So we come through, 1, 2, 3. So you can pull up, 4, down, pull up, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like sitting on your head while you do it.
Gets a little bit hot down there.
A little bit hot. So that's where you can practice with your partner. And so if you have a partner, you can have them hold, however, obviously to preserve their grip and everything. Tell them not to hold on like 100% unless you really want to fight for it. But just to build that, you know, whether they're holding game grip and you try to pop them out, or they're holding they're on the lapel and you try to pop them out. Build that. We pull up to pop them, and we twist to the back to get the lockout. Okay. Next. Okay. So we're gonna add a new pass in this week. A lot of you might know this already. It's one of my favorite passes. It's more people who like doing pressure like to do these passes, like the steamroll pass. So I'm going to partner down in the back. And so the way I usually set this up, I'll either grab like double cuff, pull down, or I prefer to grab around the knees, around the shin, and I pull down and drop on their legs here. So I can trap their legs and then come over the top. So I usually hold here, so I'll come over the top. I usually pull their legs down like this, so I flatten them out. If you can get that, so that's like what I call it the knee staple, where we take the legs, we staple them down. Sometimes you can get the ankle staple, the foot staple, where we're going to pull them out, down, or you're going to pull them out to the side. Where the lower you get them, the better this pass is. And so there's kind of two ways of doing this. So how we got here, I come in. If I can't get anything, if I can pull the legs out, so I can get that, like I can pull them out, that's even better. I'm going to drop down however I can and just follow the legs. If not, we're going to get the knees stable down, and usually I pull out or push down, put all my weight on the legs to hold the legs down. So right now, she tries to lift her legs up, she's got all my body weight posted on my hands, on her knees. So from there, I drop down to my knees. Let it come in, trap with my legs, come out, double over. So your normal steamroller pass, if we're going to tuck, we're going to choose which way we're going to go. I like to look to our right side, so we're going to do double overs. And we're just going to start climbing the body up to here. Once I get my head to the hips, I can either start working, start dragging my face along the body, keeping a heavy pressure, or once I get to the hip, if I have a nice tight grip on the legs, so I'm reaching, usually I like to reach under, grab the far side knee, reach under, grab the far side leg, so I'm not even gripping my hands, I'm kind of hugging the legs together. So the way you can then pass from there, to keep that pressure, because it's like a pressure pass, is we're here, heads on the hip, keep that pressure, I start A-framing my weight up, I pass my weight over. So with the legs trapped, so she can't hook me with her feet, she can try, but I've got her legs pinned together, I got my weight heavy on the hips, and it's going to come here. So if you have a dummy, a pillow, or a bag, you can practice that position by starting on our knees. You get the double hug, and we're just going to put our face to the mat, A-frame up, and walk over until we can touch our shoulders to the ground. So if you want to do like, I don't know, like 10 of them, so show you how you kind of do them. Here, face goes down, A-frame up. And we're basically looking to turn, so all the weight then goes on our face and our shoulder. It'll come up, might change. Face goes in the hip, A-frame up, and turn over. Without a partner, it looks a little bit weird. Feels a little bit weird, you feel like you might fall over. But when you actually do it with a partner, so I have Amy do it, you can put a lot of pressure. So she pulls, staples down, puts drag all the way, there you go, she's trapped. And then she's keeping that weight down, she's hugging. She's going to A-frame up, she's going to walk to the opposite side of her face. So if she's looking on my right side, she's going to walk to her left side and start using the legs as pressure to pull on me. So if she starts walking away. Yep. It's very hard for me to sit up because I can't spread my legs because they have my legs. I can't sit up. So you can start in that position there. So you can look. Yep. A-frame up. Heavy weight at the shoulder. We walk around. And then if you want to make it even harder, you can start turning this leg so you roll into them. So I show you guys from front side, so it's easy to see. So once I pass here, if they're starting to try and like throw me away or resist me, I can start lifting their legs up and creating extra pressure and weight into them. And then you can slowly walk up higher up the body, pass up. Just a way to, if you can't pass the guard, kind of like a cheap way, kind of like a good pressure way to pass the guard, because it's very, very difficult to stop. The straight steamroller way, where you're just crawling up the body at the legs, is a much slower way, hence called the steamroller pass, because it kind of slowly steamrolls up the body. So if you can A-frame up onto that shoulder and turn, you'll be much faster at doing that. Again, so I don't know how to do a drill. I don't know.
So 5.
Okay, so how are we doing time? Okay, we're doing okay in time. So that just gives you an idea. So you can choose how you want to pass it. If you have a partner, if you have a bag, so you can do it that way. So we're just going to go to more of our repetitive drills, so you guys can actually get a sweat on rather than just listen to me talk. So our next one, so we have my partner down. We're just going to do an open guard Heisman. So anybody who watched the other week saw how we did like the Heisman from spider guard break, where we had them, they had the spider guard here, and she had the spider guard, and we broke. Same thing happens in the open guard. So we're here, we can grab an outside leg, an outside knee. We're going to grab, and we're just going to pop away. So this is one you can do a nice repetitive drill. You can choose it with a foot, or you can pull and drag. I prefer to try and get at the knee, get a nice grip of the material of the knee, because now we have control of the hip, and we can punch them away. So we're here, punch the open guard up, we come around the outside, and we just pop out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now we have my partner do it. Okay, so punching out. Using that wrist on the knee to really turn the hip and punch in, so it makes it very hard for me to turn back over. So you can see it's much slower to try and grab the foot, so we... How many there?
I don't know. I haven't been counting.
We'll call it 7.
Yeah.
Really turn those fingers up so you use the palm here to push that knee out. There you go, see that? So she's going to hold this 9, she's going to hold the 10th one. I really love this way of passing, so just keep holding it. So, right now, because she has to hold my leg, very hard for me to try and turn back over. She's preventing my hips turning. And I can't really use my upper body. We'll give my back again.
Yeah.
You can't use your upper body because I can't, again, my hips are facing a different direction from my upper body, so it's very hard for me to pass this. All I can really do is try and pull out in a way, by which time she already has the pass and she can drop down. So, definitely if you can, control that leg until you pass around and you have that control and you keep turning, keeping that pressure on. See what we'll go next. Next one's a fireman, so we did this one last week. So fireman, we have a partner spread their feet just a little bit. We're not going to go for the full takedown, unless you want the fireman, so actually we'll just step you just a little bit more this way for the fire. So, I'm going to grab same side, and we're going to drop, either shoot in or we're going to drop double knees at a 90-degree turn. So I come like this, I reach behind the back, I pull them down. So I turn this way. You might have the wrist, however you can. If you can pull them down, it works even better for you. So we're grabbing, pulling here, we're grabbing like that. So you can lift or you can pull. Okay? The same side, pull, we're diving down. Grabbing, pull. And if you want to shoot, you can shoot in, round, But as soon as you get in, you need to turn perpendicular to them. So I'll do a takedown, the final one. So grab, push in, hold in, I lift and I curl them over. That's it.
I will try. I've never done this before.
Yeah, so she's going to grab the same side, and she's either going to drop her knees down, or she's going to shoot in with the left leg, and scoop through behind the knee, and pull us down. There you go. Yep. Yeah. Try the second one, take down.
I will try.
Okay. Leg curl. Yep. Depending on your floor, you may or may not be able to do the takedown. Right. Okay. And then let's see what we're doing with time. I think we should be good. So last one we're going to do for partner drills or without partner drills is a side to side jump. Now, I'll demonstrate you. I'll try to crush you. So last week you may do like side to side jump drills like we did last week. We place our feet and hands down, make an A-frame and jump side to side. And you might do this whether they have your head like a headlock, or you just look at the change side. But the thing we want to try and work on with the side to side drills is learning the angle to jump over at and the technique. And so what I mean by that is typically we'll start off with a over. So you can also use this leads up from the steamroller pass and the double leg and the double over hold. So we're here, we're holding, maybe we'll put a hand here on the ground. We're going to place our shoulder on the hip and our face and forehead on the ground tight. So the first one we're going to talk about is height. We don't want to jump too low, so we're at risk of being caught by their legs. And we don't want to jump too high, too high, because whatever. Okay, so as I was saying, so we don't jump both legs at the same time because we can get caught up in guards. We stagger our legs, so at the very least we get caught in half guard. So again, hand over, shoulder on the hip, face down, and we're just going to do 6. So 1, 2, change, up, 1, 2. You see, I'm not going too high where they can grab me, and I'm not going too low where I can get caught. Okay? Here. 1, 2. And then the other little detail I'd like to add, which I'll show you guys in a second, is as I jump, I like to use my arm to shuck the legs. So as I'm passing, it turns the hips away for me. So I don't know, let me turn you around 180. So I'm trying to show you guys what I mean. Just scoot back just a little bit. Okay, so I'm here without doing any shucking. I'm here, I just jump over, come over. With the shucking, with this arm here, holding the legs, as I come up, I like to, just that little shift of the legs away, just makes it very hard for them to try and recover and open the legs. And it also makes the distance shorter because now, like we talked about last week when we were passing the shin to shin pass, if the legs are up, they have higher extension. If the legs are down, they have lower extension. So it's easier to clear, less chance of getting caught, okay? So that's finished for the partner drills. Take a 2-minute water break and then we'll be back, okay? Okay, so what I've been working on, I want to show this week is, in the last couple of weeks we were doing like a shin to shin pass. So my partner's down and we're there from the front, so we'll do, there you go. Let's get a little more. Okay, should be sent, yeah. So last week, the other few weeks, we've been doing like a shin to shin pass. So we're here, we're in this position here. And usually, at the very least, we want to control the knees to stop them getting their, closing the legs together, trapping, going for the delay heel, whatever. So we try and keep that pressure on. Again, like I was saying, we come down, keep the pressure out so they can't get their legs together, and it allows us to come over and shin to shin pass. one way you can make this stronger and have better control on the legs, which is the big detail I want to show, is the grip. So at the very least, we want an open palm grip on the inside of the knees, not the outside. Because with the outside, she has control of the inside space. So here, so she tries to bring her leg in, she can't. I'm holding the inside. I can frame out on her. The grip detail I want to show is how you grip. I like to use a palm up or a supinated grip. So you sup, pro, like protecting, sup. That helps you guys remember. So I like to use a supinated grip, and I like to grab either at the shin or at the knee. I don't like to go too high up on the leg because then it gives her more mobility of her foot because it's below the knee. So I control around the knee or just below the knee, and I get in, so palm up grip, and I grab. The advantage of this grip here is if she grabs my wrist to try and break and tries to kick out, she can't kick out because every time she kicks out, she's kicking, so let's turn a little bit. So as she tries to grab to kick out, she's kicking into my grip. Now if I do an overhand grip like a lot of people might try and do, I grab here, she's going to kick, and she's just going to break that grip straight away. So at least with the open hand, you know, she grips, she kicks out, we can try and retrack. But sometimes, especially if you put weight on, if you put pressure on, so you put pressure here, and she grabs, and she kicks out, my weight is all posted on that foot, and that might make it go down. So that's why we don't want to use an overhand grip on the leg. So I like to, again, so we're going to turn. So I like to come in over here. I'll start off with my double hand so I can try and base out. And then I'm trying to see, maybe I'm going to use my thumb to get a little bit of fabric here. You know, however I can, maybe we're manipulating what we're doing. We're trying to just get a little grip here. Then we'll quickly change over to get our grip at the knee or just below the knee. Fingers facing towards the head, palm up so she can't break it. From there, we'll do a regular break. And then she's going to show, sorry, I'm dripping like a melting ice cube. So, right here, I drag to the side. I'm not going to drop my leg down. For me, I like to stay standing. Some people will do this and they'll drop the weight down. But once you drop your weight down, you're committed to being down. If I'm here and I'm floating, if I have to back away, I have that distance. The second I'm down, she's going to start turning in, and I'm committed to trying to be on the ground or trying to get away. So, again, we come in, get it gripped. We change to our palm up grip. It gives us good control. We come out and we pass. We keep holding that because if she keeps trying to drive into us, we have this pushing away, whether we're downside, we're here. If she tries to turn into us, I keep control here. And if I really want extra control of her, like I want to just all of a sudden like throw her off, I can pull her across because I have a nice grip here, so we control where our partner goes. But if you have an overhand grip, it makes it very, very weak. She can start kicking, popping, yeah. Because her leg is naturally going to move away from her hip to try and break. So we want the biggest chance. So that's why the underhand grip is good here. So we pass, we're here. A lot of people now are going to start trying to invert and get away. So she's going to reach around the ankle. She's probably going to put her foot up on the hip or something. Or shin, use your shin. Yeah, and she's going to spin under. She's going to spin under to try and pass and get away. So once we're here, and see if she grabs this leg, it's fine. We're going to put our weight down on this grip we still have. Put our weight down on the leg here, and try and start turning. So she may still have that leg, it's fine. I'm not worried about it for the time being. What I really want, so let's turn these a little bit. Other way. Okay. So she's spun over, she's trying to pass and get away. Oh, sorry, standing here, she's got hold of my leg. That's my biggest concern is this leg here. I'm not worried about her having my leg. I'm not worried about this leg's further away and controlling. So, as soon as she spins under, I'm going to try and step back down towards her hips. Because I'm safe here, because if I'm up here, she might be able to come up, use her feet, start spinning around and recovering. So I want to try and avoid that. As soon as she spins around, so we'll start back from the beginning. And yeah, we're good. So I have here, yada yada yada, I pass, she's gripped, she's spun under. Second she spins under, I'm going to try and, as she's spinning, I'm going to try and anticipate and move back towards the hip so I'm away from her. If she has that leg, it's no problem at all. This is my biggest concern here, and this is the leg I want. So they might try to stick the leg up, she might try and frame, I'm going to try and control here. In an ideal situation, Yeah, so I mean, she does that. I'm going to pass on it. But so in an ideal situation, let's turn you a little bit. Okay, right there. So in an ideal situation, I have her leg.
You've got a chunk of the mat on your forehead.
Okay, so I'm going to try and put this weight down on this knee and pin this leg to the ground, so it takes away some of her mobility. Then this leg is my next concern. So she's maybe trying to hug my leg, do whatever she's trying to do. I'm going to try and reach over and grab the outside of the knee. This time it is going to be a palm down grip. I'm going to grab, I'm going to pull back or pull down, however you want. As soon as we do this, so she has her leg up. And if I have to pass, if I do this, say she's trying to frame into me, that's fine. We can grab an ankle, grab a knee, that's what we want. We're going to pull that away and try and pin both hands to the ground, so heavy on the weight. And we'll step up, and once you get about here, you start letting go of one of your grips, and we come to the 3/4 mount. So, try and show it from a different angle. So, I'm here, I have a palm up grip, rotate around, I pin this leg to the ground, she's got maybe hold that leg, it's not a big problem. I'm fishing for this leg here, and I'm fishing for the knee. Try and grip the knee, pull and pin them down. To have both my legs, or both my body weight on my hands here. As I pull down, I'm trying to step, rotate on this foot that she might have trapped, and the step, rotate round. And you can either maintain the grip so like an X pass, or this top hand here, you can let go, comes up, and we're going to fish for behind the head, try and secure the seatbelt. So, let's turn you, yeah, we'll put it this way. So, yeah. Okay, so we're here, we're gripping, she has it here, I'm fishing, I turn into her, I fish the outside of the knee, pull, pin them both down, step, 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 and we'll drop down and sit on them before they can turn back in. So you want a heavy weight on the hips so they can't turn back into you. From there we can release the grip, start walking high, start fishing for our seatbelt. Okay? So, and then we'll do the run a long time, we'll do the finish, okay? So, we start from the beginning, and I'm sorry this isn't the angle we want to finish. I don't think we want to finish up in. Well, it kind of works out the same. Yeah, kind of works out the same. So we'll just turn you into the here we go. So, I come in, however, I'm stuck in this position here, I'm trying to pass, she's fighting. I get my palm up grip in the knee. I'm holding, step out to the side. When she'll wipe it over, I step round. She anticipates, she grabs the shin, spins under. I'm going to step round. Maybe I can't get my leg round because she's holding it. I'm just going to try and turn it. I'm going to pin this leg down to the ground to take away her leg that's close to the ground. From there, whether I can get her ankle or ideally her knee, I'm going to grab the material, pull out or pull towards to pin the two knees together. And to do that, I'm going to step over so she can't turn in, step over and drop this knee. Release one hand, slide up for the cross face. Sorry. And then we release, we have the seatbelt. And so the final part, so we just turn you around 180. Here, yep. So I've had this here, I've come up for the 3/4 mount. Here, I got the seatbelt. From there, we're going to try and start, because she might already have, she might have held this leg, and which is good, because it gives it a good position, because we're nice and high up on the body, and which is good. So we're here, we're going to start fighting. From there, we're going to try and feed for our bow and arrow. We're still sitting, keeping heavy, with the chest on the shoulder to try and stop them trying to turn in. Keep this weight heavy. We'll reach back to the leg. We're going to turn, we're going to lift up with our elbow. So I'm going to lean towards the hips, and I lean all my weight onto her hip. So I can lift my leg up, come back, close, and finish the bow and arrow. So, we'll go through it once again, fully through. Come, step, grab, palm up grip, drag to the side, clear. She spins under, rotate around, pin the leg down. Grab the outside leg here, pull, step round, come up, drop my weight heavy on them, release the grips, start trying to fish in, heavy weight. I've got my bow and arrow grip, grab the pants here, lift up with my left arm, so I can clear my, one, it creates pressure on the neck, and two, allows me to clear my left leg, grip up, pull out, and we finish the bow and arrow. So, hopefully you guys like that. Hopefully you get to use it. When we're gripping, people always look into what is the most common way they're going to break, what's going to be the strongest grip. And a lot of times when people grab the legs, they're going to grab an overhand grip with the knees, and they're going to grab. And that's good for quickly, but if we're anticipating they might try and struggle or break or grab a wrist and pop out, we want to try and shut down their chances. So we're going to use at least a one, like palm up grip on that leg, okay? And the whole time, as they're moving, we're moving. You know, we don't just let them spin under and try and recover. We're going to try and keep our distance and get almost back to the same position. We're pinning the leg, and then we can go up from there and then transition. And then if you guys didn't quite see the detail on the bow and arrow, when I was in that quarter mount here, so I'm in that position, here, I have the collar, and I reach back. I'm lifting up like this, creating pressure on the neck here, as the neck comes up. That also gives me room to quickly throw the leg out. Because if her leg is down, and I try and just fall back, I'm going to have to try and spin my leg out, which might be hard, depending on flexibility, or you might get trapped. So, if I create that pressure on their side, and we lift them up like that, creates pressure on the neck, and gives you a nice little bit of room to swing that leg through. Up over the shoulder, fall back, you got your submission. So, at the very least you got a pass. And maybe, depending on how you get the mount, 4 points to the mount. So, I thank you guys for watching. It looks like we didn't go over an hour today. If you guys have any comments or feedback, do please share them with us. We really appreciate any feedback and info. If there's anything we're doing good, let us know anything we're doing bad. We're pretty chill on the stuff. But we definitely like the feedback from everyone, so we can know how we can maybe tailor this. If you guys like some of the stuff, or you want to see more stuff, then we can talk to some of the other instructors and see if we can change it, throw some more in, or if you just like this format that we do, then just let us know, give us a like, follow us. And then again, this video will be up on YouTube, so you guys can watch back at a slower speed if you guys didn't have a chance to get prepared or anything, and see if there's any details that you like. And then I might do, again, that has to be today, I might do that another time, shot at a much slower thing where it's just like a straight tutorial, so you guys can see the details better than what we do here, where it's kind of quick, okay? So, thank you guys again for tuning in this Saturday, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. It was
Thank you.